This is Nick.
This is Jack.
It's Thursday, the new Friday, October 19th, and today's pod is the best one yet. It's a T-Boy.
TBOY, Nick, the best one yet.
It's the best pod we've ever done. Jack, what's our first story for the T-Boy?
Netflix just announced that it is back.
Back, baby.
And it defended dropping seasons all at once.
To binge or not to binge, that is the question.
For our second story, is your rent too damn high?
It feels like our rent is too damn high, Jack.
It may be because of one startup that landlords love.
Yeah.
YieldStar.
YieldStar and the rising rents.
Our third and final story, the biggest partnership on Wall Street this week, is Krispy Kreme and Mickey D's.
Yeah, frenemies, they make the best lovers.
But Yetis, before we hit that do they make the best lovers?
And you have to ask Ronald on that one. Honestly, I don't know, and I feel uncomfortable that we're even venturing into this territory.
Yetis, before we hit that fantastic mix.
I mean, I guess they make good friends, but do they make good lovers? It's going to be an interesting development.
I can neither confirm nor deny, Nick.
You have to define the relationship, but then you hate the person? I don't know. You get a lot of directions here.
Yetis, everyone is talking about the Fed meeting these days.
Everyone is talking about baseball playoffs.
Everyone's talking what they're going to be for Halloween.
But Jack, are we wrong or are they missing the main event?
Is everybody missing the most important event of the fall?
Yetis, get this. Today is the USA Mullet Championships.
The old USAMCs.
Jack, who has the mightiest mullet in all of America?
Who has the finest flow in all of the land?
Who is America's next top mullet?
Who's got the biggest hairdo since Bangs?
Tyra Banks, you got an answer on this one?
Yetis, you know the mullet. You've felt the mullet. You've seen the mullet.
It's business in the front, party in the back, sexy all around.
Nick and I are wondering with this competition, will they place a crown on the winning mullet head?
Or Jack, would that crown mess up the mullet?
We'll find out today because the winner of the National Mullet Championships happens today.
It was 3 weeks, 25 finalists. We are down to one winner.
Now, each of the remaining mullets actually has quite a nickname.
Yeah, good point, Jack. The leader right now is the Oregon Tail.
Yeah, the mullet merges into the mustache.
The challenger, though, is the Lord of the Drapes.
The mullet is 4 feet long on this dude.
But our money is on Papi Fuego, the ultimate mullet.
Yeah, because that mullet has its own mullet.
Besties, best of luck to all of the mullets out there.
We'll report back tomorrow on who won the main event.
May the mangiest of final mullets win.
I don't know what mangy means, but let's hit our 3 stories.
15 years before this song, 2 boys from the Northeast met in a dorm. They had an idea that caused a cultural storm. It's the best one yet, but the best is the norm. Jack, Nick, that's it. I don't even think they need to practice. 50%, that's a fat tip. T-Boy City on your at-list. If you know, you know, cause we ready to go. We can't wait no more, so just start the show. Start the show.
For our first story, Netflix stock just surged 13% yesterday after its earnings. But Jack, what was the highlight?
Netflix is doubling down on the binge.
On the binge. But first, Yetis, 2022. We've said it before. The year Netflix just stopped being Netflix.
Netflix just hasn't been itself lately.
What's going on, Netflix? It's us. We want to chat. First, Netflix started losing subscribers.
That's unprecedented.
And then in November, Netflix is launching a $7 option with ads.
It said it would never do that.
Oh, and then the other day, Jack, we talked about how Netflix is bringing its movies to movie theaters first.
What's it, launching DVDs next? What's going on here?
Bring back the Blockbuster buddies.
But Netflix just announced something that was very Netflix.
Oh, Netflix
Subscriber growth.
is back, baby.
Last quarter, Netflix added users again, 2.4 million to be exact.
Netflix, you're kind of looking like Netflix right now.
But a funny theme Nick and I noticed when we jumped in T-Boy style to the earnings call.
Yetis, this is what Jack and I found fascinating about the earnings. It wasn't the subscriber numbers.
No, it was the defense of the binge.
The defense of the binge.
We all know the binge. We've all done the binge.
Done the binge. Netflix drops an entire season at once, and then you become antisocial for like 2 days.
Netflix is the first company to do that, right?
Oh, exactly, Jack. For example, like The Crown Season 5. What happens when Crown Season 5 comes out on Netflix?
Cancel your plans, shut the door, grab your partner, get some crumpets, because God save the queen.
24/7 for 24/7. The binge. Yetis, the binge. It isn't just an activity. The binge is a lifestyle.
You're going to emerge from the home unbathed 36 hours later with a British accent.
Jack, remember the last season of Stranger Things, what I had to do? Remember what I had to do? Showed up at your house. I had to shave you and feed you. Yeti's true story. House of Cards season 3. I had to put an IV in Jack after 24 hours.
But Yetis, after the last season of Stranger Things, Netflix split the season in half.
It was weird.
And Netflix was struggling to keep people subscribed. We wondered if the era of the binge was over.
Well, no more, because Netflix just announced yesterday they are doubling down on the binge.
Netflix said, we think our bingeable release model helps drive substantial engagement.
Right. Netflix said, you know what? We think it lets you get immersed in the story.
And it shows in the data. They looked at the number of Google searches for Netflix shows versus similar shows on other streamers.
Well, get this. Netflix's Dahmer, it had over twice the amount of interest as House of Dragons on HBO or Lord of the Rings on Amazon Prime.
Netflix's Dahmer had twice the interest on Google than those other super high-profile, high-blockbuster shows.
The binge, it is a content deluge, Jack.
And Netflix is keeping those floodgates open.
All right, resuscitating you for season 5 of The Crown. What is the takeaway for our buddies over at Netflix?
The existential question in entertainment right now, the deluge or the drip?
The deluge or the drip. Yetis, we are seeing an epic battle heat up right now, and it is not the Targaryens versus the Targaryens.
No, it's HBO versus Netflix. To drop episodes or to delay them?
The deluge or the drip?
We just heard Netflix defend the binge, defend the drop, defend the deluge.
Yeah, but HBO does the opposite.
HBO only drops a new episode every Sunday. They delay the episodes. It's a drip.
Yeah, Jack, you can't watch Succession in one weekend. You got to wait every week for like Logan Roy to show up.
Now, HBO says that their strategy of stretching out episodes, it nurtures the show, lets it breathe, builds anticipation, and maintains long-term interest.
In fact, HBO has kind of trolled Netflix's binge strategy.
HBO says that Netflix's shows fade fast. It's a flash in the pan. It's a binge and burn. It's done in a week.
Now, Yetis, both sides say they're right. Actually, both sides may be right.
The deluge or the drip? That is the existential question in entertainment.
For our second story, why is your rent so damn high?
Because YieldStar's algorithm told your landlord to do it.
Yeah, because your landlord was told by a software.
YieldStar is the software that lets landlords collude without colluding.
Okay, Jack, if our economy had like a 10 commandments list, what do you think should be like number 1 on that commandments list?
Thou shalt not collude.
I thought we were going with guac is always after. We can totally go with this collusion one. It feels appropriate.
Yeti's collusion. It is the opposite of competition, and therefore, it's illegal in this economy.
You can't collude. Yetis, you just can't collude out there.
Rival companies cannot coordinate prices to make sure prices stay expensive.
Yeah, like for example, Lyft and Uber, they can't collude. They can't like mess with prices together.
They're supposed to compete. They can't be like, hey, there's a Giants game tonight. How about we both charge a minimum of $200 per ride from right outside the stadium?
If they did that, it would be illegal. Like not even Travis would do that.
Not even Travis would try to pull off that scheme.
Here's the deal. Competitors can't coordinate prices on consumers. You can't collude.
No, you got to compete.
But according to some deep reporting by ProPublica, one software company is doing that with your rent.
Yeah, with your rent.
Yeah, one software company.
One software company lets landlord A and landlord B coordinate on prices and jack up the price of your apartment.
That software is called YieldStar.
The company that owns the software is called RealPage.
And it's owned by, shocker, a private equity firm called Thoma Bravo.
Now, YieldStar is a software program that landlords use to maximize the rent of all the apartments they own.
Like, let's say you're a landlord, must be nice. What are you going to do if you own that building, Jack?
You're going to enter the address of the building and enter the number of units. And then the software is going to be like, hey, our data says you could easily jack up the prices by 10%.
So landlords, they're firing their leasing agents and saying, hey, we're just going to let YieldStar's algorithm decide the rents for us.
We're going to let the ruthless data algorithm decide how much we charge these families.
Cindy's got a heart of gold. She let them miss a month's rent. YieldStar isn't going to do that.
Cindy's fired.
So right now, besties, currently there are 32,000 landlords setting their high prices based on what this software is spitting out.
And what is the software spitting out, Nick?
Well, Jack, it's spitting out higher rents on 32,000 landlords.
And according to ProPublica, cities where this software is popular, rents have risen much faster than cities where this software is not popular.
You can't just send your buddy Timmy in to negotiate with the software. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over in anyone who rents their home?
This is really annoying, but is this illegal?
Yetis, it's actually not clear. Like, this smells like collusion, but is it collusion?
This isn't naturally rising prices.
No, it's not.
But is it an illegally manipulated price rise?
Right. So, like, technically, the landlords aren't coordinating prices directly with each other.
No, they're coordinating prices with a third-party tech platform. That's the middleman. We're talking about YieldStar.
So it is illegal for landlords to coordinate prices, but is it illegal for a software to do the coordinating for them?
It's not totally clear if this scheme is illegal.
No, it's
so
not.
The DOJ and the FTC are looking into it.
But if it is illegal, then YieldStar would be breaking the number one commandment of economics.
The first commandment, thou shalt not collude. Now, a word about our sponsor, Robinhood.
You know, honestly, your salad, it says so much about you.
Nick, you like to blaze your own trail at the salad bar.
Yeah, I'm ordering a salad. I go off menu, man. Like a combo of kale and croutons that has never been made before.
Me? I'm not reinventing the wheel. I like to go classic.
Like if Sweet Green thinks it's a good combo, Jack's not going to change that.
Kind of like investing strategies. Some want to build a custom portfolio of stocks, crypto, and options.
Others don't want to reinvent. Just give me the most standard ETF.
Whether you're tweaking your one-of-a-kind portfolio every day or prefer a more hands-off approach, Robinhood has the tools.
If you're not investing on Robinhood yet, to get started, go to Robinhood.com/Tboy to choose your free stock.
That's Robinhood.com/TBOY. Limitations apply.
Stocks offered by Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC.
Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto.
All investments involve risk.
By the way, this podcast is not owned or part of Robinhood, and we are not employees of Robinhood.
For our third and final story, the biggest new relationship on Wall Street, it's Krispy Kreme and McDonald's.
Crispy is making donuts, and they're making a new business model.
Okay, Yetis, Jack and I have a present for you. We've been working on a list of like recession-proof products. We're trying to whip one up.
We've been working on a list of affordable splurges.
Yeah, the first on our list was lipstick.
Another thing you can splurge on even in a recession, a donut.
Yeah, affordable splurge, 5 minutes of fried happiness.
It's $1 or $2. Treat yourself.
Jack, it's like a bagel with a personality. Like no one's that happy after a strawberry. You're very happy spending on a donut.
It's a cupcake in disguise, Nick.
Which leads to the news. Yes, Krispy Kreme's next move is to sell donuts at McDonald's.
Krispy Kreme is selling their donuts within McDonald's restaurants.
Yeah, like this is only starting at 9 Louisville locations of McDonald's, but this means that the Krispy Kreme brand is going to be in the McDonald's brand.
You're going to walk in for your usual Egg McMuffin and a coffee.
Classic McDonald's.
But you're going to walk out with a couple of Krispy Kreme glazed donuts instead.
Hey, Ronald, sit down, stand up, and sit back down again. Now, Yetis, that is interesting.
That is interesting.
But here's what we find even more interesting. Krispy Kreme's unique business model.
They have a hub and spoke business model.
And this revealed that model because every fast food chain, they make their own food on location.
Papa John's is served at Papa John's by Papa John's.
Yeah, in Papa John's house. Jack, you want that Whopper? What are you going to do?
It's going to be flame broiled right there behind the cashier in the kitchen at the Burger King.
But Krispy Kreme, it's different because Krispy Kreme uses a hub and spoke model.
Get this. They said hub and spoke 132 times in their IPO paperwork.
They're obsessed with the hub and spoke model. And here's how it works. Each Krispy Kreme
is a hub,
which makes the donuts for that Krispy Kreme store.
But each hub also makes donuts for a bunch of other chains where the donuts are distributed too.
And that is the spoke.
Like a paper boy, Krispy Kreme is up early to distribute those hot donuts from the hub to the entire region.
Boom, they're dropping off the donuts at a gas station, a drugstore, a grocery store. We're talking a bunch of other chains.
Even McDonald's.
Yeah, each Krispy Kreme location, it's not just a retail store. It is a factory, baby.
It's a neighborhood donut kitchen. Yeah, it is.
It is a kitchen, yeah.
Now, McDonald's doesn't have donut machines, so they're trying out some Krispy Kreme with this deal.
And if this goes well in Louisville, maybe we'll be seeing more Krispy Kremes at every McDonald's. We haven't seen this.
Maybe this is thinking too much, but could we see Darlene stick a Krispy Kreme donut into a Dunkin' Dunk?
And then put that in a Burger King?
I think that might be too far, actually. Darlene's not doing crispy.
Darlene ain't pumping crispy, Jack. So what's the takeaway for our buddies over at Krispy Kreme?
You don't have to give up control.
Every entrepreneur wants control. But you're told that in order to grow, you must give up control.
Control and scale are seen as mutually exclusive. It's hard to grow fast while remaining independent.
Yeah, you often have to let someone else distribute your thing for it to grow.
But Krispy Kreme may have proven that principle wrong with their hub and spoke model and with this deal.
Yeah, because this hub and spoke concept, it has grown Krispy Kreme while letting Krispy Kreme keep control.
It turns out the hub and spoke is not only growing revenues fast, it's also their profit puppy.
Yeah, one kitchen makes all the donuts nonstop, gazillions of glazed donuts.
And that one Krispy Kreme kitchen, it feeds an entire area with those donuts.
It would take McDonald's like 10 stores to cover that whole region.
As Krispy Kreme put it, we maximize the opportunity while maintaining control.
Krispy Kreme, they cracked the code on control. Jack, can you whip up the takeaways for us for the new Friday?
Netflix just defended their model of bingeable seasons.
The deluge or the drip? Yetis, who you got?
Our second story is YieldStar. They're helping landlords ruthlessly raise the rent.
It's really annoying, but is it illegal?
For our third and final story, Krispy Kreme's donuts are coming to 9 Louisville, Kentucky area Mickey D's.
And that hub and spoke model, it cracks the code on control. Now, time for the best fact yet. This one sent in by Federico Lee in lovely Los Angeles.
It's not every day that platinum-winning musical artists have to join the military.
Yeah, that's why a lot of Yetis were interested about our story about BTS in South Korea.
The Korean pop band is taking a break starting right now for mandatory national military service.
But Fetty points out that South Korea has some interesting military exceptions.
For instance, if you're an athlete competing in the Olympics, you don't have to serve in the army.
And Jack, if you're a classical musician in the national orchestra, you don't need to serve in the army.
In fact, South Korea's top soccer player, Son Heung-min, plays in the Premier League in Europe
And didn't have to serve in the military.
but BTS isn't getting an exception.
No, BTS, serving like butter.
There's no exception for boy bands.
Yetis, you look fantastic today. And if you see a donut, treat yourself. And if you see a friend, ask them HYHTBOY.
Have you had the best one yet?
That's how we grow the pod. If you know, you know.
Nick and I will see you tomorrow.
Can't wait. And before we go, congratulations to Yeti's Henry Lopez and Brandon Hughes, who've been married for 5 years in Washington, D.C.
And congratulations to the prestigious Dr. Shari Barkett, who just got inducted to the National Academy of Medicine over in Virginia.
And Jack, we got some birthdays. Happy birthday to Jingwei Zhang over in Brooklyn.
And happy birthday to Val and her puppy Teddy over in Oak Park, Illinois.
Puppy.
Puppy.
Yeah.
This is Jack. I own stock of Amazon, Netflix, and Krispy Kreme. And Nick and I both own stock of Robinhood. Now, a word about our sponsor, Robinhood.
Okay, so Jack and I both worked in finance for a while.
And we know the 6-monitor Bloomberg jockey with charts, numbers, balances, and more charts.
They got coffees in both hands while they're executing some complex trade on a soybean future.
Well, we're not trying to impress with our mission control trading center. Just give us an app, please.
Robinhood, with its mobile-first and intuitive design, it lets you trade with just a few quick taps on their app.
And even if things still don't seem easy, Robinhood has your back 24/7 with its live and robust customer support.
If you're not investing on Robinhood yet, to get started, go to Robinhood.com/Tboy and choose your free stock.
That's Robinhood.com/TBOY. Limitations apply.
Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. All investments involve risk.
By the way, this podcast is not owned by or part of Robinhood, and we are not employees of Robinhood.
Cookie Crisp.
I do think it worked out nicely.
It went great. The best part is you kind of like visually turn into a cartoon,
dude.
like your eyes kind of go like, you kind of become cross-eyed for
Oh
a
my
minute. You're
God.
like, Cookie Crisp. Like, your whole anatomy gets into it.
But dude, I didn't see the video. I only
It's almost as if you're trying out for the role of the Cookie Crisp dog.
Dude, my eyeballs come out of my head, you know,
They're
like this whole thing.
In like central in casting, they're like, "Can you give us a Cookie Crisp with a little more?" And you're like this, like this, like this. Cookie Crisp.
Yeah, dude, it's a full body sport.